Hi, I'm Jeannie Kelly, credit expert, author of the 90-Day Credit Challenge, the Credit Makeover, and I have many credit programs at jeanniekellyacademy.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a lot of information to share, but if you know me, if you followed me, you know I am a New Yorker and I like to talk quick and it's bottom line information as quick as possible. I think that time is important to get this information out now, and I don't want to waste your time with a lot of background information of why I'm talking about these changes today. I just want you to know what they are in the credit industry and what you should be doing about it. Does that sound good? I hope so. Okay, so I made the announcement, and that's why you're probably joining this webinar. I'm going right in to let you know that there are changes with the public records on your credit report. So let's first start with, because everyone is asking me, does this mean my bankruptcy is going away? And that is not. The bankruptcy is not part of these changes. What seems to be part of the changes are that tax liens, certain tax liens and judgments will no longer be on your credit report. This is new information as of July, so it's very new. And because of that, it will be very interesting to see exactly how this plays out. But with the information that I have, it states that 3 of these 4 points have to be on the public record to be able to be on the credit report. And I do not think most of these public records have this information. That's why I think that most tax liens and judgments are going to be taken off your credit report. And the 4 factors are these: name, address, correct address, social security number, birth date. Those are 4 factors. So right away, that's the first verification process that has to be done. And because most of these public records do not have that information, you are going to see them coming off your credit report. Now, is this going to happen automatically? I think not. I think maybe, but I don't play with maybe when it comes to my credit, so I do not want you to do that. I've heard that one of the credit bureaus is going to just remove all of them, but you know what? Let's roll up our sleeves and get the work done correctly. So this is what I want you to do if you are someone who knows you have a tax lien or judgment on your credit report. If you are someone who is listening to this because you want to know the changes, but you haven't even looked at your credit report in a long time, the first step is get your credit report and get all 3 copies. And I say that because they do not share information. If you correct it with one credit bureau, that does not mean the others will just follow suit. You have to contact each credit bureau separately. You can get a free copy of your credit report. This does not drop your credit score. So if you would like to do that, I would suggest going to annualcreditreport.com and obtain all 3. So we have Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You want all 3. If you don't get them from that site, go directly to each site to make sure you have all 3. If you have to wait for them to come in the mail, that is fine. Just make sure you're doing this, and organization is key. Don't start something without finishing it, because this is your credit. We use credit every day. Let's make sure it's accurate. So when you have a copy of your credit report, I always say, get out that highlighter and check everything. I know today I'm talking about public records, and that's my main focus. But if you have that credit report in front of you, you still want to look at everything. I want you to make sure your name is correct, your address is correct, balances on certain accounts are correct. Make sure all the accounts belong to you. Really look at the credit report in a whole. But again, focus today on the public records. If you have some or one, you're going to want to contact that credit bureau that is reporting it, and you want to dispute it. I suggest doing this over the phone, but of course you can do it online or by mailing it to them. So if you were to pick up the phone and call them, you want to say that you see this on your credit report. You know that there's changes in effect because of those 4 factors I told you, and you want your information verified because you feel that it should not be on your credit report because they do not have all of that information. And they will dispute that for you, and in approximately 30 days, you will receive the results. Make sure you do. Any questions regarding this part, please, reach out, let me know what your questions are, but that is the process. You don't want to just wait and see, oh, I guess it'll just automatically come off my credit report, because I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen. And since you're taking the time to listen to this, I would want everyone who follows me and gets information from me do this one little step so they are making sure their credit is accurate. And if they're saying that the public records need these 4 factors to be on your report, then you want to make sure that this is taken care of for you. So that's healthy credit. Now, let me just take a step back for a moment, because this is the part that is going to be a little bit confusing. A lot of people are saying, if it's not on my credit report, I really don't care. But that's where I'm going to just get a little concerned. If something is a tax lien and you still owe the funds, you still owe the funds. Just because it's not on your credit report does not mean that you do not owe that tax lien. You are going to have to resolve it. And that's the same as far as public records. If there is a judgment, I know a lot of people will be excited that it's not on their credit report, and I understand that. I'm saying this is very good news, but it doesn't mean that you do not owe that public record. And what can happen? With the tax liens or public records, if they go to lien bank accounts, they still can. So don't forget about these items if you still owe them. So, all of a sudden your bank account is locked because of an IRS issue or tax lien or the judgment, and they were able to lien your bank account. This is very important. So I hate to bring you down from the good news. It's definitely, I talk about credit, and that's what I live and breathe. I just want to put that in your head, though. While you're removing it from your credit report, don't remove it from your mind that you owe it. Obviously, you will still owe these funds, and it can come back in a different way, as far as, all of a sudden, like I say, your bank accounts are liened, and they take the funds out. So that is something you just want to pay attention to. I'm going to jump away from that because that was just one thing I did want to mention. But as far as your credit report, what will happen with your credit score? Your credit score, if all of a sudden a public record is not on there, most likely you're going to see a score increase. I have seen people say, oh, it may not be that much. Well, as you know, anything recent, usually you can see a big drop in your score if a new public record goes on your credit report. So if something was new, a new tax lien, a new judgment, you probably saw your score drop dramatically. So of course, once that comes off, you're going to see the increase. So it just really depends on your score, will depend on the negative item, what the date was really, and not the amount. A lot of people wonder if the amount has a factor to do. It's really going to be the date of the filed of the, that's going to be the main factor. So no matter what, again, if a derogatory item comes off your credit report, that's a good thing as far as credit reporting goes for you. So I'm happy about that. And lastly, I just want to end this with, please, follow me on my social media outlets. I'll put the information here. Please check out my programs. If you like this webinar, this is how I teach about all things when it comes to credit. We use it every single day, and we really are not taught how to be using credit in the healthiest way or taught at all. And I like bringing up so many factors that people don't realize. One little thing they do can really affect their credit, and they don't even know they're doing it wrong. So if you need credit education, I'm your girl. Please come to JeannieKellyAcademy.com. And also, major message. I'm constantly talking about is protecting your identity. And a lot of times people say, well, if I have bad credit, why do I really care? No matter what, you want your identity, not just credit, protected. And I do have a product that I brag about and talk about. If you want that information, I will share it with you. And again, it's a product that will protect not just your credit and monitor your credit, it will protect it. If all of a sudden you are a victim of identity theft, it's not just protected, they will investigate and fix it for you. Also, your emails can be protected, your social media accounts can be protected, your driver's license number, your passport, individual credit card numbers or debit cards or store cards. It is an amazing product. I'd love to share that information with you, but I told you on this webinar I'd be short and sweet and talk about the public records, so I don't want to talk about another amazing product that I think you should know about with boring you, but reach out to me at coach@kgroupconsulting.com. And if you want that information, I'm happy to share it with you. Again, the email is coach@kgroupconsulting.com. Please reach out. My contact data is in this webinar. Call the office, email us, follow me, ask me questions. I live and breathe credit, and I'm here to talk about it with you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me know how you liked this. Tell me how you're working on